Back to TYT Sports. I forgot to say welcome. Look, I was up. I couldn't sleep last night. My head is in a scramble, right? For whatever reason, couldn't get any sleep. So I ended up, ever at that moment where like you're just rolling around and instead of falling asleep, you end up trying to fall asleep.
And then you count down the minutes.
You start looking at the clock and you're like,
if
it's
I go to sleep now, I'll get 5 hours sleep.
1:20. It's 1:37. So I woke up, right, and I now have, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. Before we get into, by the way, Anthony Davis trade rumors, really Pelicans trade rumors to help out Anthony Davis. I wake up, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and my PlayStation and my TV are in my room now. I moved recently, which is terrible for me because now I don't have to leave my bed to play video games. Lazy piece of shit that I am. So I was playing Diablo 3, which is a game, and I played that till like 5:30 a.m. So, and then I finally got tired. I've passed out, and of course, like an hour and a half later, womp, 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 womp. Took my phone, turned off the alarm, and showed up an hour late to work.
So you're literally the walking meme of Steve Bannon, where he's the guy that stays up.
He jerks off till 6:45 a.m.
6:45 in the morning jerking off, and then he wakes up at 7.
By the way, it's one of the great, but that, first of all, Steve Bannon looks like Michael Shannon if Michael Shannon did Supersize Me and only ate cigarettes is still one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my entire life. You mean President of the United States, Steve Bannon. All right, off to, do you think Steve Bannon, President of the United States, could help out the Pelicans, Francis?
He would definitely add some fear into the opponents, let me just be honest.
That's
Just aesthetically, decision-wise, I don't know how you'd fit into the Anthony Davis's system, but we can talk about it.
It would be Steve Bannon's system.
It would be Steve Bannon's system. And then I don't know how Anthony Davis would fit into Steve Bannon's system, considering the obvious. But
President of the United States, Steve Bannon. So on a very random note, too, The Daily Show's now doing a game called Who is President of the United States? And they have like a board, like it's like a power ranking, which, by the way, it's gotten to that point where if we have a power ranking of who our president, it's not good. All right, so the second of these elements is two tweets from Adrian Wojnarowski, and I have an article from Hoos Rumors. I like how they titled this, Pelicans Seeking Center Dangling 2018 Pick. Dangling it. So New Orleans has been engaged on several fronts to land a center, including pursuit of Brook Lopez and also possible Omer Asik.
Dwight Howard was rumored before as well.
Dwight Howard was rumored too. I don't think Dwight's the right.
No, I don't.
I think he's fine in Atlanta. He's got bras in Atlanta. Panda.
They don't have wins in Atlanta.
They don't have wins in Atlanta, but they got Panda. So I'm confused as to what the long-term strategy is in picking up a center, besides moving Anthony Davis permanently to the 4, where he plays a positionless 3-4 and can do more on the court. But Brook Lopez would be a very good pickup for the Pelicans. I'm not sure about Omer Asik, but Brook Lopez has flown under the radar as the Brooklyn Nets center because he plays for the Brooklyn Nets, and they've been atrocious for a few years. So he's not getting a lot of highlight reel, a lot of conversation, a lot of talk, but he's still putting up consistent numbers. He's almost been like Marc Gasol until Marc Gasol finally, like 3 years ago, started really exploding onto the scene. Lopez is getting a little bit older too, though. Why not go for guards, though? Why not look for backcourt help to spread for Anthony Davis is the question.
There's a couple of reasons I think that. I think they want someone to do the dirty work, the hard work that Anthony Davis is using a lot of his energy to still do. Like, Anthony Davis is a freak athlete. He's going to grab the boards. He's going to do what he can, rough it up in the paint. But he's so talented at doing other things that almost, simply from energy-wise, he might be wasting that doing these smaller tasks. And I mean, just physicality-wise, you have a man like that and you partner someone like Brook Lopez, or you, as you mentioned, someone of Marc Gasol's stature, where they're going to get in and his main asset is to grab offensive rebounds in order to dish out and utilize all the talent. That doesn't mean that they don't need other guards. They could be doing with other players on that team. We know this. But if you are the Pelicans owner, you should be doing everything in your power. You should be selling everything, your underwear, putting everything up for grabs to try and keep Anthony Davis into that franchise.
And happy.
Yeah, and happy. That's the other thing. Like, you got to treat these guys as if they are LeBron James. Because there's your LeBron James. Without him, you have to completely rebuild. You have to completely rethink. I think Anthony Davis, sorry Pelicans fans, in the near future is going to be looking elsewhere because he is a superstar. A freak athlete that is destined for greatness. That's it. So he's going to need to find greatness, get given the tools to create greatness on his own, or he's going to have to go out there and do it somewhere else. And as we've seen recently, this is all my thought process that was the way that my mind works, like in just horrible ways now ever since the Donald Trump presidency. My mind in basketball works in a very pessimistic, cutthroat way in basketball because Kevin Durant had a lot of tools around him and was like,
Fuck
Still
it.
not working.
Go
I'm
to
going to go.
No,
and try and
his
win it.
next chapter's doing the Patriots, according to. By the way, I can't believe. I'll show it up. I'll throw it up already. They now have it. It's starting. This Atlanta blew a 28-3 lead meme. I showed it to you right before the show started. I was like, it's starting.
I bet you Draymond Green's probably sitting there like, yes!
It doesn't ring.
Finally!
The best. Do you remember when Draymond Green, they had like the meme where he broke? He just like was stopped moving in the press conference?
Yes.
The best was like the Patriots fans at the halftime were just
now we have to listen to Lady fucking Gaga.
That was my friend Dave. All right, so so the idea, by the way, of bringing in a center, as you just alluded to, is it's a tank.
Yes.
We need someone to take some hits. So Anthony Davis. So is Anthony Davis a little bit soft? Well, he's definitely a little bit injury prone. So maybe we should have somebody to take hits. I think there's a trade with the Nuggets that would make sense, and I would love to see it happen. I don't think it will though. Jamal Murray is a rookie guard who has been thriving off the bench. Inconsistent, but again, he's a rookie point guard who's shown some talent. At times able to score, penetrate the lane, and finish strongly. Other times he has some rough shooting nights and goes 3 of 15. But as a rookie, he's shown a lot. They do have Buddy Hield, who's been on a very slow, extremely slow progression, and also try to get Kenneth Faried. Kenneth Faried, the manimal, a strong power forward. You know, Davis would have to play the center, but Faried would be in there, you know, taking the blows inside. And then you can give the Pelicans your 2018, the Nuggets your 2018 pick and send Drew Holiday, because that would be somebody that might be interesting to the Denver Nuggets. I know Jahlil Okafor is also a possibility, but I don't think Jahlil Okafor is cut out for this league.
No, I don't think mentally he's been in it since he checked in. He's been caught up in a few things that in a franchise like the 76ers, you can't be doing that. Like, it's already tortured enough.
Now a winning franchise.
Now we'll win it. I'm talking about when he first came in, which is before the process. What would the Pelicans need to do to try and get a superstar accompanying Anthony Davis in that position, such as the man, the myth, DeMarcus Cousins?
See, but here's the thing. Let's say they get DeMarcus Cousins, right? Who is handling the ball on every basis? They don't. Drew Holiday is not capable of well, maybe alongside DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. It just seems like it would be far too crowded in the front court.
Top heavy.
And we're talking about, that front court in the 90s would win everything. There wouldn't be a chance. You couldn't beat that type of front court. You can compete with David Robinson and Tim Duncan. Actually, as I say it out loud, it starts to make a little bit more sense if you were trying to do a 1999 Spurs offense.
Yeah.
But Duncan was a raw rookie about to explode onto the scene, and David Robinson was coming to the end of his career as one of the best not one of the best of all time, but a top 25, 30 guy of all time.
You still just need someone to be able to find them in those positions and to allow them to thrive.
See, I thought you were going to say, how do you get like Russell Westbrook to come down to the Pelicans, or like Chris Paul if he's not happy, and bring him back. Bring him back to New Orleans.
This is what I'm thinking. It's like, I don't even think that the Pelicans understand just how much like potential there is there for their future if they're able to just do whatever is necessary to build around Anthony Davis. Because how many players, as you mentioned, players that are on the fringe of those teams that are pushing at the cost, but also like DeMarcus Cousins clearly isn't happy. We know this. He's looking for somewhere to go.
Did you see fuck Golden State, the Snapchat?
Was that what
after they beat the Warriors? He was like, hey, fuck Golden State.
So I think that like he's a fantastic. If you're a car salesman, you're gonna utilize your best thing to try and draw someone in. Like, he is literally a X5 with tinted windows and amazing rims.
Yeah, but Francis, who's like the black Volkswagen Jetta of the NBA? That's who I'm looking to bring on my team.
Who's the Jetta? That's an interesting question. What
Kenny
kind
the
of
Jet
car?
Smith?
Someone that's just going to get the job done, you know? Like, he's going to get in. He's like the James Milner. James Milner is a Jetta in footballing world. I would say...
Give me 11 James Milners and watch me dominate football. Are you kidding?
James never lose.
James Milner in the box, James Milner at goal, James Milner in the midfield.
Maybe Iguodala.
Andre Iguodala.
Because he's got
the Volkswagen Jetta. Oh, that's fine. MVP.
Yeah. I think
good
that's
style.
Maybe an interesting club. Which players are like which cars?
Which players, which cars?
Yeah,
the Volkswagen Jetta, the Honda Civic of the NBA.
Who is a Prius?
Who is the Prius of the NBA?
Who's just moving around, not using as much energy, just gracious.
He's eco-friendly. He was an eco-friendly.
Good for the environment.
Good for the environment.
Oh my God, this is an interesting clip.
Chris Paul.
I think it could be a good call. Don't know. No, he's very low.
Here's
center
what I
of
know,
gravity.
like,
I feel like Chris Paul's like a
American muscle, like a straight up like a 75 Mustang is your Russell Westbrook. He's
Yes.
gonna come at you with a lot of horsepower every single day. You have your Ford F-250, your Bruiser. That's your DeMarcus Cousins
Yeah, I was
like
gonna say
player. You're good from the outside. Who would be good from the outside? Be like a 3-point shooting car.
I feel like your BMW M4. It's got good horsepower. It's elegant. It
So
looks
you're
good.
Steph?
I think that's maybe I was gonna say maybe even Klay Thompson.
You're Klay Thompson.
Because he's a little bit more sturdier. Steph is fancy, great technique, great handling. I think he's maybe like a Porsche, maybe.
LeBron James is your Kia. Fit for a king.
People don't believe I drive a Kia. Yeah, no fucking shit. You don't drive a Kia. You don't drink Sprite either.
But you know what's great? Jim Gaffigan definitely drives a minivan.
No
The
doubt.
comedian, he does like the Dodge, I think it's the Dodge van commercial. It's just like, yeah, I can see that. I just don't think LeBron James, outside of 3 times a year, drives a Kia. Although it would be so badass if he just showed up in like a very champagne
That'd be pretty
colored, that brown color that when your parents hit like 57.
They just
start
want to get the
buy.
champagne
I
with
got
the tan
it-
interior.
I got the Acura with the champagne and the tan interior, and you're like, you ruined it. you blew it.
So true.
Why'd you do that?
So true.
What's the point? It looks nice.
Edwin's over there like, I just got a champagne Kia.
I think Bart
Tan
has a
interior.
champagne Honda. You got a Kia?
Yeah,
It's
nice.
fit for a king. Edwin's a king.
So,
That's it. That's all I got. Leave
all
your.
I've got.
This turned
Leave your
from.
cars.
This went from Anthony Davis to the Jettas of the NBA. Comment below, like, favorite, subscribe at Francis M Maxwell on Instagram and at Francis_host. Fuck. I actually tried at that time. At Francis_Maxwell on Twitter. I'm being honest. That time I tried.
This is unbelievable. I'm gonna write it on his head.